way too high. But,
Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Hey guys, thanks for watching Brown's Rod and Custom. If you're watching this, please hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. It would help us out a lot. Stay tuned. We got a lot more for you in this episode. Thanks for watching. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Sunday. It is April 27th. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. And we are getting ready over here to try to mount this rear bumper support system and the Lance camper tie-down system and all that onto the new frame and try to get that in and bolted in and all the things. So you're going to see that today. So basically we're going to try to put all this on today, all of this stuff, and the bumper brackets, the support beams on the side, all the things. So that's what you're going to see here over the next little bit. Big Ron is working right now on just chasing the threads on the bolts and getting that going for us, so we got something to work with there. We are still on parts watch. Some things could show up. I think everything's showing up tomorrow, the 28th, which to include the high heat engine paint for the engine and the fuel rail. The new Bosch fuel rail. Those should be here tomorrow at some point. So we'll see where that takes us. If you're watching this, we would really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. That would be huge for us. We are actively working to build this channel as quickly and as big as we can for you guys, and to be able to just continue to do these projects and bring you guys good content and something to watch that's worth watching, and so on and so forth. So if you could do that for us, that'd be greatly appreciated. And yeah, guys, that's where we're at the moment. Once we get this rear bumper piece on, then we move to here, and it's going to be getting onto the cab and getting it cleaned up, getting the rust repair on the bottom of the rockers on the inside taken care of, and then getting the Raptor bed liner, picking some of that up, and bed lining the underneath of this cab, and that should make it last literally for a long time, if not ever. So that's going to be happening next, and this is what we're looking at here. You got a little rust, you know, there's some stuff, and we got some stuff back in there. But we're going to go at this and try to clean it all up. We'll probably use our power surface conditioning tool a little bit and some different things and try to get this where it needs to be and get this dialed in at some point. But again, today is going to be right here. Now this could go easy, this could go hard, being we've got so many coats of paint and so on this end of this frame. That whole chunk has to slide over these. So that could be a lot of fun. We'll see how it goes. But stay tuned for all this. I'll set the camera up out here and let you guys see that. Here's your daily Volkswagen Think content. Looking all pretty. I gotta wash it. Then Big Ron's 44. Both are running great. No real issues with either one of them. So really happy with that. It's kind of nice to just kind of have things where they need to be. The only issue I really have is my wiper blades. You see when they're hanging down there? I gotta figure out if they just came out of the track or if they actually, no, they tore. I gotta get some wiper blades for the thing. Not a huge deal. I got a hold of Mike, have him send me a good set. And it's funny because they've only been on like maybe a dozen times ever, never in the rain. Just trying to make everything work, you know, testing wiring and whatnot. So it's weird, but we'll get there. All right, boys, stay tuned. We'll be back in a minute. I'm going to get everything set up and we're going to get going here.
Okay, give it a shot. Yeah, I think the tabs have to go in.
Oh, there you go. They go right there, right?
No, in here. See if we just don't. Okay. We're going. Huh? Oh, you just a matter. We're going to have to tap it for sure.
Yeah, I'm fucked right here. There's nothing I can do until I get past this edge. I think it's gonna take a bar or something.
Yeah.
So go get me a bar.
It ain't falling off.
Oh, mine will.
We need to plunge. We can touch it up. This is for $2. Okay. Now let's see what we can do here. Start with this one. Okay, so we just got to go over all of that.
I can't hold it with my face there. Get better, get something with some ass.
Now hit it with the slides right there. No, stop for a minute. We're definitely way too high. But
Okay, guys, it's sort of in. It's pretty close. We do need to run to Royal King and pick up a couple bolts because 2 of them broke when we took it off of the old frame. So we need to go pick up a couple hardened bolts and get that finished getting it bolted in, but we are really close. We'll touch up the paint. Big Ron's going to get the bolts as well to put the plates on to basically install this setup here. So those plates will go here on both sides with bolts through. We're going to pick those bolts up, and then that bar is going to come basically right up under here. Boom. So on both sides. So this should be a Tiger tank here shortly. But we have decided that we're going to push this frame over here in a minute and put the tent up to try to keep us at least in the shade, because it's probably 90 degrees right now, and it feels like the humidity's coming up pretty good. We're all sweating already. So, and I don't think it's going to rain. So I think we're going to be all right, but definitely going to try not to get skin cancer and burn to death out here. So that's next. Next we'll be pushing this over and getting the tent up. Then we'll go buy some bolts, and then I'll come back to you guys and we'll get this finished bolted up, and I will bring you what he's doing on the side with the plates and the bars and stuff and all of that, and the bumper brackets and all those things. So stay tuned for all that. Be back in a minute. Hey guys, alright, so kind of show you what we got here. The actual bumper and trailer hitch is on. Got everything bolted down, you can kind of see it there, here. Now Ron's got this bar right there. It's coming across. It's going to get bolted to this plate and this plate. He's got 2 bolts in it already. Working on the next couple. And we'll get there here shortly, but then this one will be on. We got to deal with down here. We're just fine tuning it, so stay tuned for this, guys. We're just kind of getting it. It's really hot today. It's probably 95 degrees and sunny and humid. So we're just kind of working at our own pace. So bear with us. All right, guys. I'm going to recap what happened today. We drilled holes. Lots of holes. That's pretty much what happened today. There's the whole day. Okay, so here's what we got. Plates are on both front and back, but we had to drill the holes all the way through, which, you know, multiple drill bits and blah, blah, blah. We got the bar here on both sides. Now tomorrow, we've got these holes here. We got to basically cut 2 more plates, basically a spacer. See where you see my finger? That'll fill this void, and then drill through that and run a couple bolts through on both sides, and then this section will be done of the trailer hitch and Lance camper tie down system. And it's a freaking tank. It ain't going nowhere. And then the other piece goes here, right? Yeah, so the next section is going to be right here. Be bolted in right there. We'll probably drop the front of the tank down so we can access back in here without too much trouble, which is easy to do, and get that going here over the next couple days. The real holdup on this is we needed 2 feet, swear to God, 2 feet of square tubing that is, what is it, 3/16? 3/16 or something?
It's 2 3/16.
2 3/16.
That's where the plate will start.
That's the new plate that'll go there, and there'll be another one on the back, right?
Yep.
And then we'll bolt through that, and we'll weld the actual square tubing when we get it here out of there. So
There'll
again,
be another support going up like this.
and another support like that. So, you know, it's coming together. But anyway, that metal, the metal shop that we get all of our square tubing and stuff from, they were out of it when we went and got all the plate, like you see I'm holding. And they ordered a stick, so we're just waiting on them to get it in. So that should be in a day or two, and we'll go pick that up. It's only $8 a square foot. We only need 2 feet, but we need $16 worth of material. But it's very specific, and the reason for it being the 2 3/16, being so particular on that, the bars fit perfectly inside of that. So there's no slop once you slide them in and bolt them in. So that's the reason for that. It's just a perfect fit. So it's worth the wait. But here's where we're at. We still got to put our bumper brackets on. We haven't got to that yet. That'll be tomorrow. And yeah, we're just going to continue on this. No parts for the diesel today. Everything looks to be coming tomorrow. So the fuel rail should be here tomorrow, the new Bosch fuel rail, as well as the Porsche gloss black engine paint. So hopefully it comes in the morning. That'd be great. But you know, whenever it gets here, I'll start painting and detailing this engine out, and I'll bring all that to you guys. Should be tomorrow. Tuesday I gotta go get a colonoscopy, so in the morning, so I'm not sure how much I'll be doing in the afternoon, but I might be painting, you never know. And but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Just drilling a lot of holes today, boys. Not gonna lie. Now, there's been more rumblings here at Brown's Rod and Custom about setting this engine inside of this truck, this 58 Apache, and seeing what that looks like. And we are thinking that's definitely something we're going to do, just to see what it looks like. And we'll bring all that to you. But since we don't have any fenders, anything, we can roll right up here, boom, and leave it on the engine hoist, you know. Just suspend it there, basically, and see how that looks. But, and of course, it would have a Mustang 2 and a different cross member, and things would be a little different, and spring rates, and no drop axle in the front, and stuff in the way, and all that for oil pan clearance, and yada yada. But you know, it could be cool. I'm kind of excited about it, to be honest. So that's where we're at, boys. I hope you're having a great night. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. It would really help us out. And we'll be back tomorrow with finishing up this trailer hitch. Hopefully getting our engine paint and starting to paint the engine of the Cummins. And the fuel rail should be here tomorrow at some point, and we'll bring all that to you. And once I get this painted, I'm going to start reassembling all of this, cleaning up these brackets and everything, and putting all the wiring back on here. And getting this, hooking up the fuel filter delete, the fuel line off the fuel rail, the high pressure line going into the CP3 to the fuel rail, all those kind of things. Hooking up this line here for good. You know, all of that kind of thing will start happening. And we'll start buttoning this back up a little bit. And kind of get into that final product, right? And so that'll be pretty exciting over the next couple weeks as parts roll in, and as we get going on this thing, it should be pretty fun. So stay tuned for all that. Guys, really appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.